Okay, so I think we can start. We'll let more people to join in as and when they come. So welcome Shraddha, welcome Anag to this session. Happy Women's Day to everyone. And this day I think should be every day, not just today. Uh, Welcome Shraddha. Just a brief introduction. Shraddha Sharma is the co-founder of Your Story. She has worked in the past with Times of India and CNBC TV before starting Your Story in 2008. And Your Story is an online media platform for startups and entrepreneurs. I'm sure everybody here knows about Your Story. So over to you, Shraddha. Please go ahead, take over the session.
Thank you so much, Devendra. I don't know what I should be talking about, but I just said this before the panel, before I had a session. I was talking about this. I'm going to begin this Women's Day with something that, whole of last year in the pandemic, I have been doing interviews every day, like literally every day. I was going to the office. I've been talking to so many people, doing so many meetings and everything, and uh, I had this ache here, little bit of ache, and I ignored, like completely, because you're busy. Like हम सब में वो होता है ना कि आज कल 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 कल, and that kal became a year, and then uh, I had this bad swelling and whole pain in this whole thing, which was like two root canal, which got very bad, and there was this whole big swelling since last 2 days. I went for the treatment, and that brings me to the thing which I want to tell all of you, is that we are very good at taking care of ourselves in our family. If someone was in pain, or someone, koi bhi friends or anyone will push them, go to the doctor, what is happening, are you okay? But when it comes to our own selves, we ignore, we keep it till the end, till the last. And I think that's such an intrinsic human behavior. All of us are like that, and it's guilty, most of us are guilty of that. So I would say that please, while you're doing anything and everything, and especially true in this pandemic world, is learn to take care of your own self and be a little selfish. I wouldn't say selfish, because once you are in the top of your uh, health, mind, mental, social, emotional, soul, then only you can give and do as much for everyone else. So please take care of yourself, and especially true for women, because women don't do, we very generously do this for everyone else, but we don't do it for ourselves. So please take care of yourself. Yeah, so this is me, and after this, in the second half, I have to go to the dentist again, because I've been on painkiller, a lot of painkiller, but still the pain has not gone, but the swelling has subsided. But anyways, so this is the start to my story. I see a question. Please ask man about her journey from being unknown to known. you know, uh, like, what should I say? I think my journey, I don't know if I'm known or anything, but my journey has been very interesting. I come from Bihar. I grew up there in a very conservative family. And the only thing, I think, the two most important thing for all of us, which gets us from unknown to somewhat known, or wherever we are, I would say the most critical thing is education. Because if we didn't get the education, if we didn't get the schooling, or the college we went to, if we didn't go there, then all of us uh, would be unknown in some ways. And then I think somewhere the credit of our success, as much as we take, is also on the opportunity that we got. And I uh, come from a family where girls got married at 18. You had to hit the age of 18 and get married. But somewhere I thought that no, my journey is going to be different, and I'm going to work. And then for me, it was very important to make money, that I should have my own money, and not be dependent on anyone. And then also I wanted to make sure that my parents, I can contribute to their life and not take from them, because I don't come from a very rich family or anything like that. So very early on, started focusing a lot on education, did good in studies and everything, and went to then got a job in Times of India in Mumbai, and then I was with CNBC. But very soon I realized that all of us, and then this is true for everyone watching this today, we pay so much focus to our identity becomes where we work, what we do, how much money we earn. And I realized that, who am I besides the place I work or my identity, right? And that's why you asked a very good question, unknown, because the known is Shraddha Sharma, vice president CNBC. मगर उससे क्या होता है, मतलब क्या है वो चीज, मतलब, और but we anchor so much on that. And to me, I was like, who am I as a person when I don't have a job title, I don't have all these things, who am I? And that became a very important question. And the second thing is, I come from Bihar, and people in Bihar are made fun of the way we speak in Hindi. तो पता नहीं आप लोग बिहारी हिंदी सुने हैं या नहीं. तो the way we say ना, हम हम
हम
जा
सुने
रहे हैं.
हैं.
हाँ,
हम
सुने
सुने
हैं.
हैं.
तो हम जा रहे हैं. तो people used to ask me in Stephens in Delhi, हम जा रहे हैं, आपके साथ और कौन कौन जा रहे हैं? मैंने कहा हम जा रहे हैं. तो we have this hum and a very sing song way of talking. So people used to make fun of me a lot. And I realized that, we are more than what we speak, more than the designation, more than, our ability to talk very sophisticatedly. हम सब के अंदर एक स्टोरी है, और हम सब के अंदर अपना एक पैशन है, एक अपना जुनून है, एक अपनी आवाज है. And how do you bring that out without judging? Because somewhere someone got a very great convent education, and came from a great family, got all the opportunities, then it's easier for them, right? वो जो race है. But somewhere, if you didn't get all that, how do you create a space for yourself? How do you create success? How do you get known? And that was the question that came to me, that really haunted me a lot. And that's why I started your story, because for me it was very, very important that uh, everyone like me, who comes from not privilege, who came from a background where जहाँ मजाक उड़ता है, लोग सोचते हैं कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे, हाँ, उन लोगों के अंदर अगर जुनून है तो उसको आवाज कैसे दें? And how do you build a platform? How do you help them? How do you make them cool and sexy and like everyone else who comes from privilege? And that's how I started your story in 2008. मैंने अपना जॉब छोड़ा CNBC में, उससे पहले टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया में थी. And didn't know whether it will work or not, but I knew that it has to be done, and I will do it. And now it's 13 years I've been running your story, and yeah, this is my story. Like, I can go on. It has been tough. It's been hard, but no journey is not tough, and no hard. Like, sabki journey tough hoti hai, hard hoti hai. The question to ask, which I ask every day: am I going to be a victim of my circumstances, that, oh, this was wrong, I was born in that family, I grew up in Bihar, I didn't have this, or I didn't have that? Or am I going to say that I'm going to be the superstar of my story? And that is what defines every day, that dukhi ho jaun kyunki duniya uh, बहुत uh, the dunya was very tough and hard on me, on or should I say that it was very tough and hard. But I define my own life and my own journey, and that's what I would like to tell all of you, that uh, the question you have to ask when you're going to the bed at night is that, uh, was I the superstar today in my own story, or was I the victim of the world around me and what they wanted to do or happened to me of my own story? So that's my uh, story. And of course, I can go on in detail and tell you a lot of things, but I don't want to bore you. So I would urge, जो questions हैं specifically, अगर आप पूछे तो then we can make this very useful for everyone, right? Like, if you have specific questions where I can help you or answer something, then yeah.
So I have a question. So there were like all these big media houses, and you have worked for them as well. So how did you see yourself coming as a publisher against these behemoths of media? So how did you
You
identify
know,
the niche?
देवेंद्र मुझे कोई बड़ा लगता ही नहीं है. मतलब वही होता है ना, एक गाना है हिंदी में, आई थिंक दीवार मूवी में था या कहीं था ना, मेरे ना आगे पीछे रोने वाला ना रोने वाली, आपका क्या होगा जनाबे अली. माय लाइफ इज दैट. मैं सोचती हूँ, मतलब है ना, दे यूज्ड टू बी दिस सेइंग, मेरी जिंदगी झंड है फिर भी मुझे घमंड है. दे यूज्ड टू बी, लाइक, द पॉइंट इज दैट once you face lot of hardships na, when life is very tough, then you realize that koi kya ukhadega, and people are big, but in my mind I was always very big, right? In my mind, which might be delusional, which was very dreamy, I still dream a lot of big things, there's so much to do, is that in my mind I thought that if I dream, then see the big dream, then I can make it happen. And second thing is, मेरे पास एक सबसे बड़ा ब्रह्मास्त्र जो मेरे साथ है, which is with me all the time, and nobody can take that away from me, is my hard work. That I always say that you might have everything, but I will work the hardest. Like if it means working day night 24/7, and पिछले 13 साल से I've worked non-stop round the clock. And if you have that honesty, big dream, and you don't let the world affect you, naysayers, everyone who's trying to pull you down, shut them off, concentrate on the positive, I think anything is possible. And yeah, and I didn't bother. Of course it was tough. uh, many people wrote me off. They said नहीं चलेगा. सब कहते थे 6 महीने चलेगा, 1 साल हो गया, लोग कहे 2 साल चलेगा, ये हॉबी है, एनजीओ है, पैसा कैसे कमाएंगे, नहीं चलेगा। आज 13 साल हो गया, प्रॉफिटेबल है, बड़ा है, खुश हूँ, और ये चलेगा, और मेरे बाद भी चलेगा। And I think your story needs to exist, because in this country we need to tell stories of people who don't come from privilege, who don't have access to money, who don't have uh, you know things places to advertise about themselves. And I think uh, I hope I've answered your question in some way.
Yeah, sure. So we have a question from Sushmita. She said, of course, you faced a lot of challenges, but as a woman, what were your specific challenges when you were
As a
starting?
woman,
Yeah.
see, as a woman, uh, I think, see, one of the things, Sushmita, is that everyone has a challenge, right? But the thing is that for women, the stacks are anyways very high, because the point is that as a woman, there are two things I realized. Either as a woman you will be clubbed as a very emotional woman, और लोग कहेंगे अरे ये तो बहुत ambitious है, या कहेंगे बहुत emotional है, या उससे नहीं हो पाएगा, or oh, she doesn't understand finance. So there's always a constant judgment, and women is always being judged, because there are so few women, because we are still not exposed to many women in the workspace, many women seeing them outside. We are exposed to seeing our mothers, and many a times our mothers have been at home, so हमें उतना exposure नहीं मिला है. So there's always people are trying to put women in some category or the other. And for me, that was always there. The thing is, like I said, you have to choose to shut the noise, and I chose to shut the noise by concentrating only on the positive noise. I was told, oh, she's very good at PR, oh, she's very smart, oh, she networks at night, oh, she, मतलब बहुत सुनना पड़ा, बहुत सारी मीटिंग्स नहीं मिली, बहुत लोग पहले से ही जज कर लिए। मीटिंग्स में जाती थी तो सब मुझे को फाउंडर कहते थे, क्योंकि किसी को बिलीव नहीं होता था कि फाउंडर है, कि इसके साथ कोई लड़का होगा या कोई मैन होगा हु विल बी द फाउंडर, एंड शी मस्ट बी द को फाउंडर। बहुत मीटिंग्स में जो मेरे साथ काम करते थे, शेक हैंड करने के लिए लोग उठेंगे, सीनियर गाइस, सो वो कहेंगे हाय मिस्टर सो एंड सो, यू आर द फाउंडर। they'll think कि अरे ये सेक्रेटरी होगी या कोई असिस्टेंट होगी या साथ में होगी। तो ये सारी चीजें होती हैं, और द पॉइंट इज, मैंने बहुत पहले एक्सेप्ट कर लिया ये बात कि अनइक्वल तो है, और अगर अब मैं इसके ऊपर रोऊंगी कि अरे कितना अनइक्वल वर्ल्ड है एंड पीपल आर सो मीन, एंड रो रो के क्या करूंगी, रोऊंगी भी तो खुद ही रोऊंगी, हेडेक खुद होगा रोने के बाद। सो आई डिसाइडेड दैट आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू let this affect me. It took a lot of work. uh, I meditate in the morning, concentrate on the positive things, read a lot of positive things, surround myself with a lot of positive people. So ये एक habit है, एक practice है, that how are you going to be positive every day? Because ऐसा नहीं है कि positivity is something that we are born with. ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई negative होता है, कोई positive होता है. You have to work every day to ensure that I am going to be, not let this noise affect me, and focus. It's like brushing your teeth every day, or it's like exercising every day, or going to sleep every day. It's like a routine, and that's what I did. And somehow the noises stopped mattering, and the less the noise, negative noise, started mattering, the more positive things started happening. And I would say, ये क्वेश्चन करना कि ऐसा क्यों है इज अ it's a very philosophical question. There's no answer to that. ये ऐसा ही है. We will be the change. I want to be the change today as a woman. मुझे 5 women देखकर कहे कि अरे ये कर सकती है जहां से आई है इस बैकग्राउंड से. If she can do it, I can do it, and I want to be that. Sushmita, I hope you are that.
A similar question around the same topic from Smriti that do women need a extra bit of push to come out of their comfort zone, considering that India has been patriarchal society? Uh,
Of course, of course, of course. I think women need push, and we need to push each other. I think women need to stand with each other. Men need to be with women. One of the questions I ask is, मैं कह रही थी अभी पिछले session में, that whenever I go and speak, people like me because I like people and all that stuff. And whenever I go to all these colleges with full with men, I ask them, "Oh, do you like me?" And they'll all whistle and all that kind of stuff. Uh, uh, and then I asked them this question, that अगर इसके मेरे जगह आपकी वाइफ खड़ी है, गर्लफ्रेंड खड़ी है, मदर खड़ी है, सिस्टर है, will you be same encouraging and same whistling and same supporting, right? वो मुझे लगता है इक्वल सोसाइटी घर में बदलना होगा. And we can do it to our own surroundings. मेरे बारे में लोग बहुत कहते हैं, ओ रात में भी मीटिंग करती है. रात में मैं कैसे मीटिंग कर सकती हूँ? मैं करती हूँ क्योंकि मुझे करना है मीटिंग. हाउ मेनी, आई क्वेश्चन दिस टू मेन, हाउ मेनी ऑफ देम विल बी ओके कि अगर मीटिंग रात में कभी हो जाए? क्योंकि आज तो डिजिटल वर्ल्ड है. टाइम ऐसा थोड़ी है कि 9 से 6. सरकारी जॉब अब नहीं रहा. वो भी सरकारी जॉब में भी अब जाओ तो कहते हैं 9 से 9 और ये. सो the thing is how comfortable we are in our own skin, and we will have to be. मुझे लगता है सबसे बढ़िया एग्जाम्पल होता है ना, अगर दूसरे को देखें, रोल मॉडल्स देखें और देखें कि अरे वो कर सकती है, वो उसका उसके घर में ऐसा हो रहा है और अच्छा हो रहा है, तो और लोग करेंगे. मुझे देखकर अभी कितनी सारी लड़कियां और बिहार में और हर जगह कहते हैं, अच्छा श्रद्धा ने किया है तो अगर वो कर सकती है तो ठीक है, यू कैन ऑल्सो डू इट. एंड आई थिंक वी ऑल हैव टू डू इट बाय एग्जाम्पल.
Great. So, of course, some people are, extroverts and they can go out, talk about their stories. There's a question from Sunita. As an introvert, what advice will you give to expand her social network, especially the new social network, because apparently her old network has stopped working. So, how she can grow her network as an introvert?
So Smita, I would say introvert और extrovert एक construct है जो हमें दिया जाता है कि अब हम, I think as human beings most of us are introverts. मैं भी आज के डेट में कभी ये लिख नहीं सकती हूँ सोशल मीडिया में, oh I'm talking this, I'm doing that, I'm doing that. The point is, if you say networking and if you say building network or doing social media, अगर तुम उसको काम की तरह देखो तो तुम करोगी. अगर तुम उसको देखो कि मैं इंट्रोवर्ट हूँ, if you, because you go to office, you work on your computer, you do things when it is required to be done, right? Like you brush your teeth because it's good for your teeth and you do it because वो required है. मगर अगर तुम देखो that oh networking करना या relation बनाना is a something which is not in me, then you are limiting yourself. मतलब पहले से you have decided that you can't. Some of the biggest, deepest relationships are made by people who are introverts. Because जो introverts होते हैं वो relationship की गहराई में जाते हैं, not on mass bombarding. And I think use that to your advantage. And I would say the biggest way to win on social media or build relationships is to be very, very generous. It sounds very simple, but agar I always have this theory, जिंदगी में दो तरह के लोग होते हैं, givers और takers. और हमें लगता है ना, और givers are people who generally give, चाहे वो like करना हो comment को या किसी को help करना हो. And the more you give, sometimes it will look like, oh it's so thankless क्योंकि मैं दिए जा रही हूँ और मुझे कुछ नहीं मिला. But if you start giving in your own way, what can you give? Sometimes you can just listen. Listening is giving, being kind to someone is giving, encouraging someone is giving, और कुछ हम सबके पास कुछ देने के लिए है. And if you start giving more, you will start seeing that तुम्हारा relationship expand होते जाएगा, and you will be able to make lots of friends, lots of people, because I believe in the power of networking, क्योंकि उसका compounding effect itna zyada hota hai that you can't even believe that it comes and helps you in so many ways. So I would say do these things, uh, and yeah, and talk to me, like DM me on Twitter. I would love to have a chat with you and help you in this process.
Sure. And so when initially you are doing working on your idea, there's a lot of things going on. You are doing great work, but nobody recognizes you. So it's a question from Vishal that how do you maintain your mindset when the work kind of work you are doing is not getting recognized, and even we are doing something great, which will eventually uh, come out as great in few years. But initially, what's how do you keep motivating yourself?
The thing I say is that एक होता है ना, and this is for women, I always say, जो होता है ना फेमिना मिस इंडिया, ये सब जो हीरोइन बनते हैं तो वो क्राउन पहनाते हैं. So I feel लाइफ में कोई आके क्राउन नहीं पहनाएगा. Like it's nobody is going to come and give you the crown, and nobody is going to come and give you the tiara, उसको कहते हैं. कोई देगा नहीं. और इसलिए you have to create that, you know मैं कहती हूँ ना, हमारे अंदर वो एग्रीकल्चर लैंड है जिसके अंदर हमें उसको फर्टाइल बनाते रहना. सो people don't, if they don't come, people will, and ये लेना है कि लोग आपको जज करेंगे, people will criticize, be negative. How are you going to anchor your own irrigation? How are you going to irrigate the system within you that it's fertile, it's beautiful? I would say दो तीन चीजें करो. Keep anchor, read a lot of positive books. मैं books बहुत पढ़ती हूँ and positive books बहुत पढ़ती हूँ. चाहे सब लोग हंसते हैं, self help books बहुत पढ़ती हूँ. Yeah, in this pandemic I would have read more than 250 books or something like
Mhm.
that. हमेशा books पढ़ो. लोग अपनी तरह के लोग को ढूंढो जो पॉजिटिव हो, जिनसे पॉजिटिव वाइब्स हो. जो नेगेटिव है उसको start shutting down negative people. If it and I would say, मेरी जिंदगी में जो मुझे बहुत हेल्प किया है कि मैं मेडिटेट करती हूँ सुबह में. इट ऑफ कोर्स टेक्स लॉट ऑफ प्रैक्टिस, बट बस 2 मिनट के लिए सुबह में ब्रीदिंग पे वो फोकस करना. इट ब्रिंग्स सो मच ऑफ पॉजिटिविटी विद इन यू ना, दैट आई कांट टेल यू. ये सब एंड यू स्टार्ट सीइंग इट. आपका सर्कल में यू स्टार्ट अट्रैक्टिंग पॉजिटिव पीपल विल स्टार्ट कमिंग इन योर लाइफ. एंड या, सो दीज आर सम ऑफ द वेरी प्रैक्टिकल डुएबल वे. करके देखो, यू विल सी द मैजिक. I yeah, I think you'll see the magic.
Great. I have a question here. So, your story is the number one platform for all the entrepreneur and startup, stories in the country. So, what's next for your story? What's next for Shraddha?
What makes the
What's next for Shraddha, and what's next for your story? These are like two different questions.
So so we've just launched education, skills, because we realized there's a lot of requirement की product management कैसे करें, startup कैसे करें. तो education में expand कर रहे हैं, subscription में expand कर रहे हैं. एक premium subscription product launch किए हैं, cap table. Local languages में एक app launch कर रहे हैं. So there's a lot happening in your story. It's turned profitable. It was always profitable, but we raised money in between for 2-3 years. We were not. Again, we are profitable, and this year, and of course, the plan is to go to US and expand in different geographies. इस साल सब कुछ दिखना शुरू हो जाना चाहिए. And personally, for me, yeah, I'm asking that question to myself also. इस साल सोच रही हूँ कि क्या क्या करना चाहिए personally. But on a personal front, I will also say inner journey में ज्यादा ध्यान दे रही हूँ कि uh, how do you become, how do you, because inner journey, once you start doing, then you realize that, oh my god, it's unending. How yeah, there's so many questions in about life, about us as human beings. And क्या मैं 2 घंटे meditate कर सकती हूँ, क्या मैं चुप रह सकती हूँ 2 घंटे में meditate कर सकती हूँ. Those are some of the things on a personal front, but I want to figure out what's next. But this is what, for your story, that's the plan this year.
Great. Uh, so one question which I had is like, how did you, choose this niche of, highlighting stories about startups? Because I'm sure there'll be other niches as well where, you could have highlighted stories about bigger companies, investments, other industries, but why startups, why small businesses, why entrepreneurs?
So Devendra, I told you, right? Like I come from my background. And I realized that when I was working in media, that people were telling stories of very successful people or rich men's son. और मुझे हमेशा ये क्वेश्चन रहता था कि if media is only going to celebrate the top of the most successful, then young people who have the boys who are doing very well, who can't maybe communicate, who are maybe sometimes introvert, who are sometimes not, uh, you know how to tell their stories, मगर वो अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, उन लोगों के बारे में कौन कहेगा? And it resonated with my background because people used to make fun of me, मेरी हिंदी का जैसे मैं बोलती हूँ, जिस टाइप के पर्सन हूँ, और and I thought कि I'm not what I speak, there is a person inside, right? And how do you tell those stories? And इसलिए मैंने सोचा कि उन यंग लोगों की स्टोरी करती हूँ, और फिर स्टार्टअप वर्ड, मुझे पता भी नहीं था कि स्टार्टअप वर्ड है 2008. I thought that people are doing something without the money or the background or the privileges, उनकी कैसे स्टोरी करूं, और मुझे दुनिया ने कहा ये लोग स्टार्टअप है, तो startup became a category.
Okay. And what's your message for women entrepreneurs here, or entrepreneurs in general? So what will be your message for them? Who is somebody on the brink of getting into entrepreneurship? What's that push you would like to give them?
I would say please start up, please be an entrepreneur. This is the best thing that you can do to yourself. एक life है, मर जाना है. उससे पहले entrepreneurship is like, entrepreneurship I think is such a phenomenal journey. Success, failure कौन देखा है? And I think अगर failure हुआ तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, because it will give you the grit and resilience. Success हुआ तो अच्छी बात है, but it gives you a whole life experience. It just makes you phenomenal as a person. It makes you so, एक मजा आ जाएगा as a human being, right? Like, and it's so important to do that, uh, क्योंकि एक चांस है, अगर नहीं किए तो बूढ़े हो जाएंगे और मर जाएंगे, और क्यों क्यों ना करें, क्यों ना वो एक्सपीरियंस को महसूस करें, which is such a phenomenal experience. And I would say, my personal motto has been कि अगर failure हुआ, दुख हुआ, hardships हुआ, people are very mean and wrong हुआ, तो उसको embrace, मतलब उसको उसको लिख लो और कहो कि thank you God that this happened to me, because I'm telling you, after 1 year, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, you'll thank for all the pain that you suffered. Because अगर pain नहीं है ना, तो जिंदगी में गेम क्या है? मतलब अगर रोए नहीं, तो हंसने का मजा, आज हंस रहे हैं, खुश हैं, वो मजा कैसे आएगा? वो हंसी में वो दिल कैसे आएगा जब तक वो पेन सफर नहीं किए? And I think that entrepreneurship teaches you the lowest of low and the highest of high, and you experience the whole thing. So I would say go ahead, live it. एक कहते ना कि अगर निकले रोड पे तो सीना तान के निकलते हैं, गड्ढे आएंगे, गिरेंगे, धूल आएगा, होगा, रेन आएगा, सब आएगा, मगर निकले और चले, उसका मजा एक अलग चीज होता है. एंड आई वुड से जस्ट गो एंड एक्सपीरियंस इट, एंड इफ यू नीड एनी हेल्प, I'll be very more than happy to help in any way possible.
Sure. So on that lines, there's a question that is he also planning any specific for supporting women?
Yes. We have a platform called Her Story, and in fact, this year there's a huge plan, and we are also thinking of putting some money to invest in women entrepreneurs. Yes, I am a very huge women fan, girls fan, women fan. And as a woman, we need to, मतलब जितना भी dialogue दे दूं, अगर खड़ी हो गई 5 women के साथ, then that's the best thing that you can do for women, like
Sure.
genuinely, truly standing with them.
And just the day before, we had a panel of women co-founders who were discussing. There were a lot of questions around fundraising. So, did you face any challenges because there are a lot of questions around women founders, co-founders facing challenges during the fundraising.
तो कैसे झूठ बोलूं, झूठ तो नहीं बोल
Mhm.
सकती, क्योंकि मुझे फंड रेजिंग में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुआ, मगर इसलिए नहीं हुआ क्योंकि इसी आई स्टार्टेड इन 2008 and I
Mhm.
raised my first round of Series A funding in 2015. तो मैंने प्रॉफिटेबल, आई मेड अ प्रॉफिटेबल कंपनी बिकॉज आई एम ओल्ड स्कूल. तो मुझे ताकि फंडिंग किसी से पैसा लेंगे उससे पहले लेट्स प्रूव द मॉडल, क्योंकि जो मॉडल है योर स्टोरी का, इट्स नॉट ई कॉमर्स, इट्स नॉट स्विगी, इट्स नॉट लाइक स्टोरी का how do you build a scalable business out of telling stories? And जब 2015 में गई investors के पास तो profitable था, तो जिनको भी call किया उन सब ने invest कर दिया, and उसके बाद series B जब किया तो भी investment हो गया. So yeah, I didn't have a problem, and that's why I say that either. But I also knew all the investors, right? I was in the ecosystem writing, so I knew everyone, and more importantly, proven model था कि सारे investors कैसे कहेंगे no to a profitable, और ज्यादा पैसा भी नहीं मांगा, तो ठीक है. See, the
Right. So
thing is with fundraising, I am telling you, investors, once you are convinced ना कि खुद में मतलब एक जुनून होना चाहिए, conviction की, I believe no investor knows your business more than you know your business, because you're running it every day, Saturday, Sunday, Raat, then you are living madly in your mind or living that business. But you are passionate and you can show that conviction कि ये तो है, मतलब करूंगी या मरूंगी. Then people come and back. People back in beliefs and dreams and visions.
great. There's a compliment for you. Like you're very humble, and would be interested in helping people like you yourself, who come from humble background.
Yeah. See, the thing is, I think पता नहीं humble हूँ या नहीं, but धक्के बहुत खाई हूँ जिंदगी में और दुख बहुत हुआ है. I've had a very difficult life, and yeah, बहुत रोई हूँ जिंदगी में, और and somewhere that makes me sympathize, empathize, and absolutely love people in pain, because uh, sometimes we get pain because of no reason of ours, and we question why did this happen, right? My mother died in a very tragic accident. I had a very difficult childhood. uh, yeah, there's so many things I don't want to talk, but there's so many things. How, मगर उस सब में खुश कैसे रहें, और अगर जब खुद खुश रहना सीख सकते हैं अपने में, तो दूसरों को कैसे खुश रखें. And I think when I make other people happy, it makes me happy. So it's a very selfish thing that I think the best way to, I can give you all a recipe. The best way you can be very, very happy is when you make other people happy. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So a very personal question in the chat box. What is your wake up time?
Wake up time. So I never had a proper wake up time, but since last 2 3 years, my wake up time, I'm generally a morning person. So now these days I wake up by 5:30 in the morning. I like mornings. I love mornings. Like morning में लगता है everything is okay, world is okay, the sunshine is okay. I love morning.
Great. Another question which we have from Shivani is that what do you suggest when someone feels low and starts doubting oneself and the work?
Two things I would say. One, when you are feeling low, please, 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 meri baat suno, that start with just 1 minute of meditation. And meditation word sounds very difficult, but just start with 60 seconds of breathing exercise. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. 60 seconds. Start and grow it to 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You'll start seeing the magic. And जो lowness है ना, और जो feeling of self doubt है, वो अपने आप तुम देखोगी उड़ता जाएगा, मतलब उड़ता पंजाब, मतलब it will go away. And do that. मतलब करके देखो, मजा उसमें है, खुशी उसमें है. जब भी दुखी हो, जब भी, and it's not just सुबह में, if you can do as a habit, please, but during the day also, during the course of the day you feel very hurt or you feel low, just concentrate on your breathing. Thoughts will come, just concentrate on your breathing. You'll start feeling, I'm telling you, in 60 seconds you'll start feeling very good, and eventually you'll start overall feeling very good. And the second thing is, please focus on surrounding yourself with positive people. Go and find mentors, find people with whom you can talk, find people jinki energy or vibe से sometimes we need a push na. कभी कभी खुद, मतलब I feel antidepressants are like push, right? Like जरूरी होता है जब when you are very, very low. So similarly you need mentors, you need positive people, and you have to make an effort to surround yourself with मैं लाइफ में जब भी लो रहती हूँ, I always make sure that I talk to positive people. right? Or talk to someone on something completely different topic, but have a good positive conversation. So do these two things and you'll see that you'll be able to come out of it very quickly. I can promise you that.
Can you elaborate on how to select a mentor? It's a question for Vishal.
Yeah, so how to select a mentor? Now see, the thing is that no mentor fits all, right? हम लोग सबको अलग अलग, जैसे मुझे एक टाइम पे mentor चाहिए था, because I was feeling very low in confidence that, oh, after I raised money, that, oh, I don't know how to read a balance sheet, I don't know how to, there was a lot of self doubt. So I went and found, मैंने देखा, see, and also for me it's easier because I interact with a lot of people, right? So फिर मैंने देखा कि अच्छा ये woman है, she has exited, she's very diva kinds, very confident and amazing. तो मैं उससे मिली, and then I said, hey, not that as a mentor, but I said that, I would love to keep talking to you, and can I talk to you? And she was a very positive influence because her sense of confidence was so high. Like I didn't have that confidence, matlab, I keep doubting and all that. So I started talking to her. That was good. So I needed mentor at that point for that thing. तो तुमको पहले, सबसे पहले ढूंढना होगा कि किस चीज के लिए मेंटर चाहिए. Do you need mentor for your business scaling? Do you need mentor for your emotional conversation? Do you need mentor because you're just feeling low? Do you need mentor to develop your confidence? Do you need mentor uh, to help you with fundraise? So किस लिए mentor चाहिए? Then go and search people. You can search on LinkedIn. You can ask me once you know. I can connect you to some people, and then बात करो, because mentor mentee is a process. मतलब, it's like dating. You have to find the right person, because सब कोई ज्ञान देने में सब कोई ज्ञान दे सकता है, बट ज्ञान ऐसा दे जो कि दिल को समझ जाए, इम्प्रूवमेंट हो, उसके लिए you have to meet a lot of people till you find someone who is worth being your mentor.
Do you also have any spiritual guru? It's the next question.
Guru,
Spiritual guru, yes.
spiritual guru, no, but I uh, read on all religion, by the way, and I am very impressed, if I may say so. Impressed मतलब impressed नहीं, impression बना है दिल पे Buddhism से. And there is a guru Tin Na Ha, ThinNHAN. Google search it. He's a Vietnamese Buddhist monk. He fled during the American thing. Not fled because he wanted to live to change the atrocities that happened. And uh, yeah, that Rinpoche karke ek hai, YouTube mein I watch a lot of his videos. But yeah, Buddhism has had left a deep impression on me.
So, question from my side, like, what's your favorite publishing platform? Like, where do you consume your stories from?
YouTube.
Okay.
YouTube. I'm a very big YouTube addict in the morning. भजन सुनती हूँ, कुछ कुछ नया नया क्या हो रहा है, funny हिंदी trending movie कौन सी है. So yeah, YouTube is a place I go to, and of course I read. There is a site called brainpickings.com. I read that. New York Times पढ़ती हूँ. Today on Twitter में you can find content which you want. So yeah, I read a lot actually.
Yeah, you mentioned like you read
Oh,
250
books.
books.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
very
Books I read
inspiring.
a lot.
I also tried. I completed 52 books last year because of the pandemic. So great.
So continue reading after the pandemic also.
Yeah, I will. I'm trying that. One question, one. I think the last question will not keep you for long. You might have to rest for before your dentist appointment.
Yeah, and I have to keep speaking. Whole day I'm speaking only.
Okay. One person needs suggestions for mentors for ed tech startups. So how can he reach out to you? How can you connect ed tech startups mentors?
Why don't you DM me on Twitter, Sharma Shraddha, or email me shraddha@yourstory.com, or Devendra, you connect us, no?
Sure, I can do that. Yeah. Uh, your email ID, I'll just post it on the chat. People are asking for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so any parting thoughts, any closing thoughts from your side?
Women's Day and all that I don't believe in. So, but the only thing I would say to everyone who's been here, पता है जिंदगी pass हो रही है. We are young, and then all of you must be much much younger also. The thing is that अच्छे इंसान थे या नहीं, were we good to everyone, and did we treat everyone fairly? And if you do that, I'm telling you, जिंदगी में नींद अच्छे से आएगी. मतलब घोड़ा बेच के सो सकेंगे हर दिन. So were we good and right to everyone, whatever we could be. And मुझे लगता है हम हर लोगों के पास कुछ देने के लिए है. And I sometimes think just giving a listening, non-judgmental ear to someone, uh, and a laugh to someone, is precious enough. So yeah, think about all these while you go on to build your businesses, your career, your future, and all the very best.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being here today. And
Thanks, Devendra.
I'm sure we are very inspired, all of us.
Keep reading books.
I do.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye. Thank you.